Hello traders, welcome to Neutral View Trading channel. In today's video, we will be looking at Nifty 50, Bank Nifty and Sensex analysis. So usually what we used to do is we used to post analysis of every day in Telegram and Twitter channels where we used to just write a small or a write-up kind of a thing, and we used to post our analysis with the target that is supposed to be reaching for that particular day, and we also had a stop loss point where we have to agree to, right? So what we thought is we wanted to educate large audience, right? So we thought of making a video as to how we do analysis every day, and we deliver it on time by 8:50 a.m. in the morning, right? So we thought of taking this as an opportunity to do video and to show how we exactly do our analysis each day. So let me begin with the Nifty 50 and Bank Nifty Sensex analysis for the next day. What we usually have to consider before starting the analysis is we have to consider day chart analysis as to where here you can see considering Nifty 50 and that particular day's analysis. So here in the different time frames, I'm considering 1 day frame. So when we look at this particular day chart, we see where Nifty has currently, where it has respected previously, like day before yesterday, it has reached somewhere around 18,108, and it has touched a point. Previously, the Nifty has touched one particular zone where 18,119 as the touch point, and it has moved slightly upwards. So based on this, how we can draw conclusion as to what will be the tomorrow's opening? That might be the question of many people. We shall consider this particular range just as a support zone. Okay. So for tomorrow, we have to consider a different support zone as if we are trying to buy Nifty 50 in particular to intraday. This particular analysis is completely for intraday purpose. Okay. So before getting into that, we shall see how Nifty has respected few particular ranges previously. So previous data becomes very, very important in our analysis. So to do that, I will now consider some broad range from December. I will try to draw this line to the current day support zone. I've just drawn this from this particular range. Okay. So upon seeing this, Nifty has consistently respected this particular zone previously. So based on that only, Nifty has now respected this zone as a support zone and it has moved upwards. So to draw tomorrow's target and tomorrow's support zone, we will have to consider a different time frame, which is either 15 minutes or 30 minutes, which is a general thumb rule. So likewise, I will now see some respected zones previously to forecast tomorrow's upward movement and downward movement. Okay. So as far as I see that, so for tomorrow, I am expecting this particular point here will act as a support zone. So to see where this particular point acts particularly as support zone or not, we need to see further previous. We have to go some days back and see if there is any particular day that Nifty has respected this particular time frame. Okay. So we will drag this a bit behind and see here there is a time frame here on exactly on 20th December. We are seeing Nifty has respected this as a support zone. And previously, if we go back even further and see here exactly on 17th of November, there was a support zone that was respected. Again, if we go further, there is no particular range that is available for us. So we can take this particular point here as a supporting range for tomorrow's support zone. So I will make this as a red line, which indicates as a support zone for tomorrow. Okay. So we will keep this particular zone as support. It's time to fix the target. So to do that, I will now consider the upward zone where for the same candle, I will take this particular candle as this is the upward zone that the stock has to move further. Okay. The body part of the candle, if we consider, that would provide us more insight. So if we want to consider the wig as well, we can consider, that's not a problem. So I can take this wig as a resistance point, and we can see if we slowly bring it down, we can take this particular zone as a target zone for tomorrow and make this line as a green one. And I will see again if there is any previous zones that was respecting this particular target. So I can show this one and this one, right? So previously the Nifty 50 respected this particular range, and if we go even further, there is no that particular range. So I will just draw till here and leave it that way. You guys can see we have a support and resistance zone for tomorrow, right? But is this all enough to do the Nifty 50 and trading, right? This is clearly not enough to do Nifty 50 trading. So we have to go even further. For this, I am considering Fibonacci levels. Fibonacci, I know many traders and teachers consider this particular Fibonacci aspect to draw topmost point and downmost point, right? So we never know the particular ranges that Nifty 50 would respect for tomorrow. So we have to consider all possible oscillators, indicators in order to bring in the exact point of resistance and support so that you can make clear-cut money. Let me open the Fibonacci levels in order to show you. How do I consider Fibonacci levels now? Previously, the stock had respected this zone, right? So I am drawing the Fibonacci levels. Stock had moved very much down, right? And made a good up move. I'm considering from here to do that. And I will go exactly till the previous high of this particular Nifty 50. So if we consider previous high, you may notice 18,777 is the highest point where I'm showing you. This is the highest point. Till here, we have to draw the line. And then we can see how the stock has touched currently 0.5 levels of the Fibonacci, which is 18,311. So now to get our target levels for tomorrow, we will have to consider some range, right? So here if I see, it is almost 0.382 that where we have drawn as our target. So this may or may not be the target. So to do that, I will be on a safer side and pull this down exactly to our previous body levels where it was 18,402. So that if there is any clear-cut breakout also, it may not move beyond this level. The stock has to go above this and make a new high. Only then the stock will respect this above 382 levels. Currently, I'm considering below this to be on a safer side. So whatever we trade, we have to make some good money, right? So it should be a small range, but we have to make some good amount of money with. Let's move ahead and understand how with 15 minutes and time frame, if this particular range is respected for tomorrow or not. I will cancel this Fibonacci levels, and now we will remove this particular broad ranged support zone in order to not make any confusion. 18,402 is our resistance zone. 18,339 is our support zone for tomorrow. Okay. So I will now click into 15-minute time frame. So let us look if tomorrow levels are clearly reached by doing some analysis over here. Previously, when the stock fell, it started falling from this particular zone, if you notice. So today, the stock has touched this particular zone, if you notice. Whatever may be the opening tomorrow, it should open slightly above this particular range. So if it opens exactly above this particular range, this will be a supporting zone. If the stock opens beyond this and it has to, in the day range, the stock has to move somewhere like this. and touch this zone and then fall back to its supporting zone. This should be the opening and closing of this Nifty 50 tomorrow. We have seen from the previous trends, we have drawn this particular conclusion. Let us now go to our Fibonacci levels and understand how this particular, if this is reached or not in the tomorrow's zone. So we will now consider Fibonacci levels and we shall draw the conclusion of tomorrow's opening and closing. So when we consider this, we shall start off with 19th May trading, from where the stock has moved upwards. So we will drag it to the upmost point and see what the stock is currently doing. So when we see this, what we assume is the stock has touched 0.382 levels already and it is trying to move down. So what this indicates, the stock has already reached some saturation resistant points and it has come down to the 0.32 level. So from this, what we have to take a call. We should consider this as a warning zone and we have to make a downward move from our supporting levels and keep the supporting range somewhere exactly to the previous levels here. And we will also have to bring down the resistance point to this particular zone to be exactly on a short point. Stock will now move to this particular range tomorrow and make a new high and will move down. The stock might open and make a downward momentum tomorrow. So it might come down to this levels and then exactly recover and touch this particular zone. This is the analysis that might work for tomorrow. And this is the safest point that we should be considering. So what we previously did was we just exaggerated in a day candle. So you may understand how with just the day chart, we will not be able to make a good decision, right? So we will have to consider the 30 minutes point as well, right? 30 minutes time, 15 minutes time frame. So we will have to consider 15 minutes time frame as well in order to perform our analysis. So let me take this off for you. So if you see, as we understand this particular level, which is 18,294 would be tomorrow's opening, and it should come down a bit and touch this level of 18,261, and it should cover a bit above and it should touch somewhere around 18,340, which is again a good performing zone for tomorrow. So we will just make a note of this. So these are the recovery zone and target zone for Nifty 50 tomorrow. Let's see this in our day. So this is how tomorrow's range will be. It should exactly move and touch this zone and come down. Now let us see Nifty Bank in the same format. So for Nifty 50, we will have to look for the same range. Okay. So before doing that, let us start off with our previously touching zones and draw some conclusions. So this particular zone here will be now a support zone. The major support draws from here. As you see, there is a significant sideways move that is now being shown as per this. With just the movement, we can understand the stock is now trying to move in the sideways. We never know till what day it will move sideways. It has to give a clear cut downward move or upward move in order to make a major decision on the stock. Okay, Nifty Bank. So we will try to make a sideways analysis as per this assumption. So previously in the sideways, what all the respected zones that are there, we will now check in. So previously the stock has touched all these three levels, right? If we see, the stock is moving a bit in this particular range. So we will consider for now, this is the support zone for tomorrow as well. So I will remove this and make it very clear for you, the supporting zone for tomorrow. I can just say and be very confident on this particular zone as the supporting zone for tomorrow. And let's also draw on these lines. We will also draw the target zone for this tomorrow, right? So this particular point here will be the target for tomorrow, as expecting sideways trend for continued tomorrow as well in the Nifty Bank. So if we notice, this is the range for tomorrow in Nifty Bank. So as per our tradition, we will also consider Fibonacci levels in this particular zone. So to do the Fibonacci levels, we will have to check some of the points previously, correct? So we will have to consider from here till exactly the above range of this particular Nifty 50 bank. So if we see that this is the topmost point of Nifty 50 bank in the day frame. So it has already touched the highest point, and if it has to break, it has to go beyond this point. Only then it can draw a new high and new support zone. If not, the stock will have to move down from this particular zone in order to make a new support and resistance zones. We can now check the same thing to be very sure in the 15 minutes time frame. So in the 15 minutes time frame, we can now see there is a huge sell-off that has happened in last 13 minutes of the day. Huge sell-off has come into play. So in this particular, as per this particular these two candles, we can assume the stock should open a bit down tomorrow and then show some recovery tomorrow again. So to do that, we will just draw a small imaginary line where from here the stock will open and touch this particular zone, and it will again move this particular it will again move to this particular point, and it should touch. This will be tomorrow's respected zones and targets. Okay, it's very evident that tomorrow the stock will move down a bit and make a new high, correct? So we will again make a note of this particular target and recovery zones. So in the day range, it looks exactly like this, and this is our support and resistance level for tomorrow. Okay, so we will now look into the Sensex index. Okay, so we will have to check with the same format as to how it was working previously, and then we will draw a conclusion of recovery and target again. So this is the previously respected zone, or we can consider this as a support zone that previously the stock had made a big fall and took a support and went a bit upwards, right? So from this, what we can do is now we will try to hunt the support zone for tomorrow. So as we saw how this is the particular respected support zone for previously, we will now try to catch the target and support zone for tomorrow. So let me draw that particular support zone that is expected for tomorrow. I am thinking somewhere around here, particular zone, and we can take this particular candle as a reference zone for tomorrow's behavior. Now if I draw this and keep this particular trend line over here, and we will have to draw back to keep it as a supporting zone. We shall also draw the target zone for tomorrow's candlestick. So this will be the imaginary line where I am taking the same candle's reference and drawing the target zone. This was the previously respected levels of the stock, and let me keep the same target now. So as far as I see here, this is the set target zone and recovery zone for tomorrow, correct? So this is again not enough. We will have to see from the Fibonacci levels and consider the same. So to see that, let me just take Fibonacci levels from here, this particular point of 23rd March, and move it exactly to the highest point of the range. If you notice, the stock had almost previously respected the highest level of this range, and it has moved down to 0.32 and again moved up a bit to make to touch this particular 0.236 levels, but it has not touched yet. So we will have to bring down a bit beyond this particular zone, that is, and keep exactly at 0.236 levels, and 62,099 will be tomorrow's target, and the support zone will remain same, which is 61,778 for this Sensex index. Okay, let me remove this particular Fibonacci levels and the major support zone, and this particular zone will now act as a target and support zone for tomorrow. Let me see the same thing. Let me show you in 15 minutes time frame in tomorrow's range. So as far as we see this here, there is a support zone that is respected yesterday, and the stock has moved back again to this particular zone and it has come down. So what we can say for tomorrow is the Sensex index will move down a bit tomorrow and touch this particular recovery point, and it will move again to this particular highest zone. So this will be the behavior of tomorrow's market as far as this particular uh, Sensex is concerned. Should touch 62,097. So this is how it looks in the day range, and we have drawn the exact support and resistance levels of the stock. Okay, so this is Sensex Nifty 50 Bank Nifty's index analysis for tomorrow's market behavior. Okay, I hope you got a clear-cut point as to how this all worked. If you liked our video, please do subscribe. If you apply this in your tomorrow's trading pattern, and if it worked and you made any profit, please don't forget to leave a comment in this video exactly. Thank you so much.